Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Today, we are dealing with a subject all of us will face. I guarantee it, every one of you out there, and me, myself included, will face this one day. And that is death. We're all going to die, okay? And I have entitled it Death the Equalizer. You could call it Death the Great Equalizer, too. When we all die, we're all equal, okay? And you're going to see the psalmist writes this Psalm 49 here today and saying, basically you're all equal when you die, okay? There you can be all great, and after your death, people will soon forget about you. You can have estates named after yourself, and they're soon going to forget about it, and we all die, okay? But he also talks about eternity in here too, and what God has in store for that. So I want to read here today Psalm 49, all right? And I've entitled this Death the Equalizer. It says this in Psalm 49, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation today, or paraphrase, because it has just some ways to say this that it really sticks out here. It says this. This is a psalm of the descendants of Korah. Listen to this, all you people. Pay attention, everyone in the world, high and low, rich and poor. Listen, okay, everybody, listen to this. For my words are wise, and my thoughts are filled with insight. I listen carefully to the many proverbs and solve riddles with inspiration from the harp. Okay, just listen to poems and songs. Why should I fear when trouble comes, when enemies surround me? They trust in their wealth and they boast in their great riches, yet they cannot redeem themselves from death by paying a ransom to God. Redemption does not come so easily, for no one can ever pay enough to live forever and never see the grave. Those who are wise must finally die, just like the foolish and senseless, leaving all their wealth behind. The grave is their eternal home, where they will stay forever. Let me stop there. This is right in the middle of verse 11. But it says, these guys, they trust in their wealth. When you die, it doesn't matter, okay? You can't buy your way out of death, okay? You might prolong your life a little bit by getting more medical treatment and stuff like that. But when you turn out to be 120 years old, death is still coming, and your quality of life may not be so great at that time. You're not, going out and running a marathon or anything, but we all die, okay? And nobody, no matter how much money you have, you can't avoid that, okay? There's different people that have tried to do things. Walt Disney has frozen his body, that hopefully he's hoping someday that, after they find a cure for whatever killed him, that they can unfreeze him and he can be Disney again. It probably won't happen. It says in verse 10, those who are wise must finally die. Just like the foolish, everyone wise and foolish, they're all going to die. Verse 11, the grave is the eternal home where they will stay forever. All right, that's where our bodies will stay. I love this part, and as it continues on in verse 11, it says, they may name their estates after themselves, but their fame will not last. Okay? And you've seen this. You go around, I'll go around Sarasota here. And you have maybe different ranches that are named after people. You have some roads, and you're like, why is this road named after this person? Well, that road is named after this person because he was an early pioneer in Sarasota, and he was instrumental in, getting this land and, building this park or whatever, all kinds of stuff. And so that's why their name are there. But in reality, you have that name, the name of this road, but no one knows who the person is, okay? You have Palmer Road. I'll use that as an example. I guarantee you 95% of the people that drive on Palmer Road have no idea the history behind the Palmers and how they were influential in starting Sarasota and all that stuff, okay? And the great wealth they had at that time. The wealth is it doesn't matter anymore. Okay, and that's what he's saying here. They may name their estates after themselves, but their fame will not last. A few years down the road, a few generations down the road, it doesn't matter because people will forget about you. Verse 11, this is the fate of fools, though they are remembered as being wise. Like sheep they are led to the grave, where the death will be their shepherd. In the morning the godly will rule over them, their bodies will rot in the grave, far from their grand estates. But as for me, God will redeem my life. He will snatch me up from the power of the grave. Okay, so our bodies, you go and dig up a body, and they do this they did this, I know in Cuba, they'll bury the body and let that decay, and then, because they don't have room enough in the graveyards, then they dig up the body and take what's left, which is just the bones, and then put that in a smaller box, and then put that, it's a smaller cemetery, a smaller place, taken up like that. But you take those bones, the bones are just the same, it's a different body, but you can't say, oh, this guy had $10 million and this guy had $10. The bones look the same, okay, when it all comes. But it says here in verse 15, but as for me, God will redeem my life. Okay, our bodies die, but my life, my eternal life, God will redeem my life. He will snatch me from the power of the grave. So just like Jesus defeated death by his resurrection, I'm also I will have eternal life because I have a relationship with Jesus. Okay, let's keep reading here. This is where it gets interesting. Verse 16, so don't be dismayed when the wicked grow rich and their homes become more splendid. For when they die, they take nothing with them. Their wealth will not follow them into the grave. Okay, you've heard that saying. There's no U-Haul behind a hearse. I've never ever seen a trailer being pulled behind a hearse, because you can bury the possessions, but probably some thief is going to dig them up later. And it was an example is with the Egyptian pharaohs built these great pyramids and put all their wealth in there. Well, the wealth did not go with them into eternal life. Okay. Thieves would break in and steal that, and so whatever's left, there might be some in museums and stuff now, but most of it was stolen over the years. All right. Verse 18, in this life they consider themselves fortunate, and they are applauded for their success. Yeah, that's great. He's a great guy. But, verse 19, they will die like all before them, and never again see the light of day. People who boast of their wealth don't understand. They will die just like animals. Okay? Animals die. We got the chickens back here. They're all going to die. They're actually going to die all in one day, because we will butcher them. But just like the animals die, we die. It's a common thing. You're going to die. Okay? But what are you going to do with your eternal life? Okay, will you be eternally in hell, or will you be eternally in heaven? That's your choice. Okay, so all of us have the common thing: we're all going to die. But if we have that relationship with Jesus, then I have eternal life. So that will separate me from the rest of the world that has eternal death at that point. All right, so hopefully that explains everything. This is it's kind of a dark psalm here, but it's dealing with stuff that it's a real issue that we've got to deal with, our death. Okay, death, the great equalizer. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through the Bible. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.